Hello, dear. It is my esteemed pleasure to present to you with a splendid opportunity for luxurious riches with a net worth of $850 million USD. All you need to do is simply to listen to this beautiful podcast, and everything that you desire will be yours. In the event that you refuse, I have acquired private footage of you executing dirty activities upon your own person that I will share it with your entire contacts list unless you kindly transmit $17 billion USD to me in cryptocurrency. Many blessings and best wishes. Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
What's up, man?
Not much.
Thanks for coming up to New York. I appreciate that.
Of course. Happy to be here.
You spent some time at the Starbucks Reserve today, which I know is a big part of your travels.
That's probably
it's kind of number one on your travel itinerary when you come to New York. So
it is. Yeah, I didn't spend as much time as I'd like there today.
Yeah,
because I kind of came in. It was for research purposes. I brought because I know the what did you eat this week. I knew that was coming, and truthfully, I didn't really have anything that was particularly exciting. So I figured.
You created the moment you wanted to have.
Starbucks has my back.
Here, let's close that door real quick.
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna...
36.
Yeah, so I was here for that, and it was banging as usual.
Yeah, dude. So tell me about Starbucks
smacking.
Reserve in general. I mean, you've told me off mic, but I think it deserves a somewhat, an extensive dive, for the public. So, what is it? What's the atmosphere? What's the ambiance?
Okay, Starbucks Reserve is the more upscale, or I don't even know. I think it's upscale by way of being a more selective version of Starbucks products. Does that make sense?
I think so. What is selective? The products themselves or the clientele?
I think it's probably just the products themselves, because it's like you just see Starbucks, you go and you're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. But
then you're in line to check out and you're like, damn, this is expensive as fuck. Like, it's just
they have nicer pastries.
They have nicer pastries, which
do you think the coffee's better?
See, no, it might be difficult for me to. I've only gotten an iced coffee beverage from there. So I feel like a taste test, like, ideally would be like a hot coffee.
That's true.
But the iced coffee is better than just regular Starbucks iced coffee.
That's nice. And
they give it to you in like a. Yeah, this is the other funny thing. Well, let me. All right, there's a lot to cover here because this is kind of like visiting Disney World.
It's big too. It's on 9th Avenue, right?
It's on 9th Avenue.
Yeah. So I walked by it the other day and I was like, oh, that's it. And it's huge.
It's huge, dude. It's really big. There's a lot going on in there.
And don't they have a big like bust of like the mermaid somewhere in it?
There's mermaid, yes. They have like a brass or like copper. Wow. I think it's copper. So it's like someone hammered the shape of the mermaid.
Wow.
And I think she sits above. There's a giant pizza oven in there too.
Wow.
So I think she's do they
make pizza?
Yeah, there's a pizza. There's like a pizza option in there.
What do you mean?
There's just like a corner of the place. There's a corner of the grounds. It's like Drake's house. It's like but so there's like a corner in the back corner. There's like a pizza oven, and I guess you can. And then next to the pastries. Okay, so now I'm beginning to see the vision. So there's the pizza oven, and then where the pastries are next to it are slices.
Oh, wow.
But it's like, Sicilian slices. This is meant to be Italian.
Yeah. It's meant to be in an Italian cafe.
Yeah, it's like the stuff. I don't know if it's just the coffee, but at least the pastries and the pizza, and there's a bar too in there. There's like a separate
Damn.
which I'm really looking forward to, like having
getting
some
absolute
sort of
fucking hammered
having
there.
some sort of social event. Probably my birthday next year.
Yeah, dude, I'm in. Absolutely.
Yeah, birthday next year.
And when you go to Starbucks Reserve, who else is there? What's the demographics that you're seeing around you?
It's a lot of tourists from like various countries, but mostly looks like European tourists.
Okay. They want a little taste of home.
It's kind of like the best of both worlds, because it's
Yeah.
like a little bit of the taste of home inside the American wrapper of a Starbucks.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like I'm coming to Starbucks, but I'm getting a muy auténtico
Yeah, exactly.
experience. So it's like that.
Is there any aspect of the decor that seems unmistakably American, or is the decor purely Europe cosplaying?
I think just like the scale
Yeah, for sure. That's a good point.
is
It's
very
big.
American. It's
Yeah.
so big, dude. And then there's like multiple like merch tables. There's like yeah, the first time I went in, I don't know if this is like really, I mean, I think this is just like the first time I went in, there was a security guard. Like they have like security.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the other American thing. They have like armed security.
Yeah,
It's like when you go to the airport and it's like people in like our military fatigues and
Yeah.
like the biggest machine gun you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's literally a
Yeah.
guy who took like a driver's permit test and then was handed an M16. But the first time I went in, it was like a security guard and he was crying. And I think it was just unrelated, but it was just a unexpected twist.
Yeah, he just had a strong aesthetic experience.
That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
at first. At first I was like, maybe it's just a visitor like
Yeah.
struck by
Yeah.
but yeah, aside from that, okay, so the size, and then this just the way the coffee, like I think because the coffee is, I mean, it's so centric to the Starbucks identity.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gigantic coffee roaster going in the center.
Oh, so it's almost like an industrial.
A little.
Yeah, it's like here's the machinery of this massive global brand.
Mm-hmm. So and
That feels American too.
Right? Doesn't
Not, other countries have whatever factories and industrial type places, but like I don't know, working that into the design of a place that feels like
it feels American.
Yeah,
I agree with you. So that's what's going on there. The one thing
is it a good place to work?
No, it's like because most of the seating is like not. There's like not really tables.
They want you out of there.
Yeah, there's like a little bar around the coffee like station. There's also too much shit going on.
Right.
For that to be the coffee station. Like that's also huge. And that's one of my problems with like when you order a drink there, and I usually I'll just get like an iced coffee or a regular I mean, here it's been an iced coffee, but I'm like, hey, can I have a cold brew or whatever they call it. But I'm like, can I have iced coffee? And then they're like, yeah, sure. And then I think I was handed a buzzer once. You know what I mean? Like it's
wow.
Yo, you can. I don't get it.
Just pour it.
That's what I mean.
It's right there.
So it's like I don't know if that adds to like if they're just doing numbers or if that adds to the experience.
Buzzer, dude. That feels important. Does it have a logo anywhere?
I didn't pay enough attention. This wasn't recent. This was like a while ago. This is maybe my first or second visit.
Next time we go, first we're going to record a podcast there.
We should see if we can go on like a tour or something.
Do you think they offer them?
I don't know. I mean, like, why wouldn't they? But maybe not, because it's just so busy. It would kind of gum up the works.
And what would they tour? I mean, what would they show you? I guess they would show you like some of the machines.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah, or just people like this guy's working on his resume.
Yeah, show you people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like most of the seating is kind of like lounge-esque.
Yeah.
It's like recliner chairs almost.
Wow.
And then they have outdoor seating. But yeah, so it's like a sprawling operation.
And are there any other Starbucks reserves in the country?
Yeah. I didn't know this. I looked it up because I was trying to look up the
Wait,
pastry that we
can I
got.
guess the cities?
Yeah, please.
L.A., San Francisco, Chicago.
You're right about Chicago. That's the only one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you nailed Chicago. That's the only one that I have confirmed. But here we go. I'm looking it up right now.
Dude, I went to an Eataly in Chicago.
How was that?
It was sick.
That's kind of nice.
I went like 3 times in the span of like a weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot. Italy's like it's kind of a similar vibe, I think.
Italy is
probably
similar
right.
for sure. Yeah.
It's like fair. It's like a fair of Italian products.
Yeah.
And this
totally.
is kind of
But it's like sleek,
yes,
sleek deluxe
Mm-hmm.
decor with food that is meant to evoke kind of a homegrown
yes,
Euro village.
yes.
It's a weird mix of
Yeah.
tones.
That's true. Yeah, that is a kind of it's kind of at like a crossroad. It's like I don't even know how to describe. It's kind of
It's like I have a weird metaphor
Contradiction.
for you. It's like playing like a lullaby on a high tech synthesizer.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's true. I've been to the Italy in New York, but I haven't really like explored.
I love that it's near Ground Zero.
Wait, oh, there is because there.
Oh, there's one in Brooklyn. That's right. But I think there's one.
There's one. Maybe there's one near Ground Zero, but there's also one on like near like the Flatiron Building.
Oh yeah. Yes, there is. That's right.
That I think that's the one I've only been to.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there was a. Oh no, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Because
it's in the.
It's on that like pier or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's near the mall. It's not in the Oculus, but it's near there.
It's near. Yeah. Well, that's another thing to visit. Pay our respects.
Yeah, absolutely.
To multiple great Americans.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait. So you brought something back from Starbucks Reserve.
Yes, I
Today.
did. I'd also like to just.
Yeah.
In terms
to
of
wrap up the.
just for the sake of factual, Seattle, of course. Why wouldn't it be
Yeah,
Seattle?
Yeah, totally.
Seattle's the other one, but I did bring a item.
So you wanted to save what it was called for air. Should I describe what it was first, and then you say what it's called?
Yeah, sure. I think
Okay,
that's probably.
It was a frosted sugared croissant with a lot of raspberry jam in it.
Mhm.
Pretty tasty. An excess of jam, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of it pooled out onto my plate after I bit into it, so I had to finish it with a spoon. I didn't have to finish it with a spoon, but no one forced me. But one was compelled to finish it with a spoon.
Well, you wanted the full experience.
I did, yeah. I wanted to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was really tasty, so I appreciate you bringing it. Thank you.
Of course.
So what was it called?
I'm happy to do that. That's also we should. I'd like to, and just as a business thing, that's a write-off.
Yeah, well, of course. No,
Yeah,
duh.
so-
I mean, literally, yes.
But no, the first point is I like that you said like a frosted kind of thing because that kind of plays into. I had to look it up because it was just a croissant,
Mhm.
but it wasn't because in going with the Italian theme, Starbucks did its homework. This is a cornetto.
Yes, yeah.
Which is the Italian version of
I
croissant.
love that. That's cool.
Which has a little bit more sugar in it, apparently. I had to look it up.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah.
I thought
so
they just called croissants cornettos. And
apparently it's slightly different in that sometimes there's a little bit of vanilla in the dough.
oh, wow.
And then sometimes there's like sugar or like a frosting kind of
That's awesome.
situation. So
Damn, dude.
I think that's why.
Shout out to the Euros and their slightly different ways of making pastries.
I know that is like a funny. It's kind of like the noodle.
Yeah.
It's like the sweeter noodle thing for like history's foods. I wonder when the cornetto kind of came out.
Yeah. And I love the name. It's very lyrical, as many Italian words are.
Yeah.
It sounds like
is.
a instrument kind of.
I know. And perhaps I'm just being cynical. But I mean, also, I've seen croissant so often on a Starbucks little name card. And also, I think it's worth taking the time to... Starbucks disrespects their croissants. Like regular Starbucks.
They're
you and
the
I have
worst.
you and I have sent pictures to each other.
Oh, really?
We sent pictures to each other of pathetic croissants at various Starbucks throughout America.
We should start doing that again. That's hilarious. Dude, that's very interesting because, like, and this is not just Starbucks, though. They might be one of the worst offenders, but, you know, you can go to Costco and it'll be a plastic container of like 6 dry, stale croissants.
True.
And they'll name them, you know, like, because that's
a good point.
well understood name in America for that pastry. If you go to a place and they call them cornettos, it's very likely that it will be of good quality because it's not as common.
Yeah.
So that's a little hack, I suppose.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, it's like the croissant name has really been diluted by its wide adoption, but cornetto is still somewhat more rarefied.
Yeah, I mean, it was to me. It was new to me.
Yeah.
I was like, that just looks like a croissant. I wonder what's in store.
Italy's, they're up on the cornetto.
Oh,
those are nice and crisp.
So I mean, I should have known that you knew about this after
they're toasted
after your multiple tours.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I took some notes for sure. I took in the scenery.
That actually sounds. I kind of just want a plain one now because that sounds.
Yeah, honestly, it's like it's
like
really
enough,
good. Yeah, it's like it's the perfect man. Dude, the degradation of the croissant in America is kind of an interesting.
Have you ever had these are like crazy disrespectful, but I've had them before. Have you ever had the 7-Day brand? And no disrespect to the 7-Day brand, but
maybe I don't know. Are they just like supermarket brand croissants?
They're like specifically like bodega brand.
Oh, dude, yeah, I've seen those.
Red bag.
Yeah.
It's individual bag croissant. It's like a bag of chips.
That's like atrocious.
They're so. Yeah. I mean, it's so. That's like the worst version of it.
Yeah.
But I've had one of those, and it's like, I don't know.
And those sit in your stomach at all the wrong angles. It just feels like you got 2 elbows in 2 different parts of your belly.
Also, the name 7-Day.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like a challenge or something.
Yeah, I mean, to me, my first interpretation is like this is how long this has been sitting on the counter.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how long they probably last for a while.
Oh yeah, totally.
Which also
they'll survive a hydrogen bomb. Like,
although I do have like a sick pleasure, not pleasure, but a sick appreciation for like bagged pastries.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with...
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I feel like any bodega pastry is going to be like an individual bagged...
Yeah. You know about Big AZ cinnamon rolls?
Damn,
Big Az cinnamon rolls.
I like that.
I don't know
I've had a bagged muffin in that style. And those are predictably, honestly, awful, crumbly, etc.
Yeah. True. Like the clear bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clear bags suck.
Dude, where do you think they're manufacturing these 7-Day croissants and Big Az cinnamon? Do you think it's like...
Big Az feels like Jersey.
Yeah, okay.
But 7-Day feels not America.
Yeah.
It feels like somewhere else. What do you think?
Yeah, I would guess, Bangladesh, and then just like a...
on the same machines they make like T-shirts with.
Totally, yeah. And then it's just like a boat the size of a skyscraper bringing them to... to the port of New York. And dude, I texted you about this, but I almost forgot to bring it up on the podcast, but I think this is a good forum for this. I had a shocking experience at Pret a Manger.
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought this up.
Last week, yeah, and I was really steamed up about it.
Yeah, I think it's worth airing. And
it was the Pret a Manger in Union Square, right across the street from the Strand. I had purchased various books. Mm-hmm. And I was just so excited to sit at Pret a Manger and eat a sandwich and a cookie and have a coffee. Bought my stuff as soon as it rang. My transaction was rung up. The cashier was like, "Oh, by the way, we're closing." the dining. Also, he called it the lobby, which I didn't like.
Damn,
So
that's
the lobby's closed. Like, what is this, a hotel? Like this? I mean, there's no good. I was like, the dining room, that doesn't really work either.
that doesn't count.
The seating area is
the pit.
the pit. Yeah, the pit was closed for business, and
That's
yeah, and
fucked up.
and it was raining, so I had to eat it in the park while it was raining.
Damn.
And I was just, I love pret a manger. I was excited, and I was let down.
Takes them down a notch.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you this. That might be a boycott.
Yeah. It's a dox. I mean, I've doxed them. I've let our hordes of fans know, the location.
And it's true. I mean, it's no secret we're fans of Pret a Manger.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, I won't blame the barista or whatever. He could have told me a little bit sooner.
See, that's the thing.
He could have been like, as soon as he saw I had these various things, going to be like, hey, by the way, like, we're closing, so you know.
Yeah, but it's also like.
But he wanted the lead, he wanted the transaction, which I do respect that.
That's good business.
Yeah, he closed and then told me.
And that's top down. That's Macron down. That's orders directly from the head of state. But it just frustrates me, especially because it was raining. It's like, I'll probably be here for another few minutes because I work here and I gotta like put shit together before I head out. It's raining. Finish. You also bought, it's like it's not like you bought a cup like
Absolutely.
a water
No,
and like
I supported the business.
So it's like maybe hang out for a minute. I mean,
It was funny. There was a security guard too. Also, it's like just funny these like random shitty cafes.
Yeah, dude, I forget about. It's like, I mean,
but he was like too awkward to like be like a couple people left, but then there was one older guy with a bunch of bags who just like wasn't leaving.
Yeah.
Not like homeless, just old Manhattan guy.
Yeah, right.
And like just kind of with a sour, pinched expression, and the security guy was like, "I'm just gonna
let it rock.
I'm just gonna let this dude hang out."
That's
I don't
funny.
really want to. Yeah,
I kind of like that.
yeah. So shout out to that guy.
Yeah, shout out to that guy for just holding his ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say that is a pretty like one. I'm not going to take up for Pret a Manger. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you for hearing me and seeing me. And I'll go back. I'll go back to that one tomorrow.
That is kind of Parisian, though. It's like
that's true.
I had to eat my Pret a Manger in the rain.
No, for sure. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, it was very existential.
The same park that.
Also, there was like a public concert going on, or like a free concert going on in Union Square. It was like
Kai Cenat riot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For game returns.
Yeah, round 2 for sure.
Wait, what'd you get? Like, what cookie did you get? I don't want to dox the whole order.
No, I'll dox it. I like dox as just an all-purpose.
Yeah, only if you're comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah. It was a double chocolate cookie, pretty good. Like some kind of chicken sandwich.
Oh, nice.
Mediocre coffee. Their coffee's not very good.
Yeah, their coffee's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, is that one of the places where it's like they give you the cup and then it's like you go on?
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay.
I kind of like those places.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like that.
It feels like the power's in my hands.
Yeah. It feels kind of like, it feels like an old diner or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. You're a part of this too. You work here too. But not in a way that, like people talk about that with like self-checkout. Like, what do I work here?
Yeah.
It feels different with Serve Yourself Coffee.
No, I agree. Cause
it's like the means of production are in my hands. It's empowering.
It's true. Well, yeah, I mean...
So that was pretty upsetting. I recovered.
I agree. Well, yeah, I think it's also worth keeping a tab on the Pret a Manger situation as it unfolds because, I don't know, I have a feeling the both of us will probably be back at a location soon. And
yeah, are you going back to
scene.
Philly tonight, you think?
Yeah.
So you're going to be in Pret a Manger territory at
Here's the.
I don't know if you're
thing.
taking the train or the bus, but
Here's the fucked up thing.
yeah.
So I don't know if you've been in the 30th Street Station in Philly lately, but they're doing renovations.
Yeah.
So that whole side.
Oh, dude, yes. I know. Now it's just like a weird like Hudson News.
It's a Hudson News.
Yeah, I hate it.
That's a separate issue that I need to investigate.
Yeah, I hate it.
And perhaps bring up with the Attorney General. That like really. I mean, I fuck with Hudson News.
Dude, join the like campus protests, but with this specific.
Yeah. But so Pret a Manger's location there is boarded up.
Yeah,
but
that's
then
sad.
they have like
Feels like The Wire in there.
it does. Then they opened a temporary location, I'm assuming, where Old Nelson's used to be.
Oh,
Which I have mixed feelings about because Old Nelson's is like that's a local business.
right. Yes, yeah.
Pret a Manger took that over. So I'm just hoping things change, but I went in there. I didn't really like it one time before, but it's worth investigating again. I'll check it out again. You know, every once in a while, one time I got gazpacho from Pret a Manger
How was it?
in like a little cup.
Yeah.
It's good.
We had a nice I feel like we had a nice meal there a while ago.
Yeah.
I think you had like a salad.
That's right.
Like one of the big salads.
Yeah, the big salads. Yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah, memories, man. That's why I'm so disappointed by this recent experience.
Well, yeah, see, that's the frustrating
I've had so
thing.
many
It's
nice
like-
dine-in. I used to write at that Pret a Manger. Literally at the Union Square, I would like I don't know why. I mean it's like I literally have no idea why I did that. But I would go, and I would like work on like a script, if it had to be like for like 2 hours.
Well, there is like I mean that one is kind of booming, but it is not the worst. Like it's an okay place to get work done.
And it's near a big bookstore, so
yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's true. I gone to right there. Yo, I was in a different coffee shop today, and this just made me. There was a dude in there working. He was working on a laptop, and he had. I feel like he was just trying to flex on everyone in there. But he had a script next to his laptop on the table, and in highlighter, in big letters, it said Paramount Plus.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, I think you're fucking with us.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It just made me laugh.
Tubi.
Yeah. Wait, what's... Yeah, Tubi.
Tubi's like one of the free ones. Apparently it's good.
Tubi's nice, actually.
Yeah. Freevee.
Free.
Dude, someone roasted one of the first round series for the NBA was... the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Orlando Magic, and someone was like, why is nobody talking about this series? And people are like, I don't have Tubi. It's funny, the idea of like an NBA series being on like
Tubi.
Yeah.
That is really funny.
Okay, let me talk about what one of the things I ate this week. I made jambalaya, and it was really tasty, and I was pretty proud of myself.
That's amazing. I really like jambalaya. Do you mind sharing?
Of course, yeah. So the one of the YouTube cooking accounts I watch is this dude from Long Island. I don't know his name, but the account name is Sip and Feast.
Okay.
And
it's a good name.
It's a good name. He's great because he's like pretty boring. He doesn't like the big cooking accounts. I mean, there's many, but the two that I'm aware of are like Binging with Babish.
Right.
You know anything about this guy?
I know he's like somewhat popular, and I've seen him on. He's like been on other media shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've never watched his stuff.
And then there's a guy, Joshua Weissman.
I don't know him.
So Binging with Babish, he's fine. It's like he's like kind of sexy. He has a deep voice. He has an annoyingly kind of cloying, mild sense of humor. That it's like corny Reddit type jokes, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the right. It'll be like, well, first you crack an egg into the pot and make sure you don't include any of the shell. It's like, it's the things like that. There's like,
yeah,
there's just sort of like mildly funny, but like funny-ish. And
Yeah, it's
and you know,
like-
most of it he just has this like gorgeous kitchen, and everything that he uses is really nice. He grinds his own meat. Pause. I guess. But he's like, yeah, it's this burger's better if you grind your own. Yeah, it's like cool.
It's like, yeah,
Get
nice,
my meat
dude.
grinder.
I own a farm.
Yeah, and it's like, how do you wash that fucking thing?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so
That's crazy.
he's a good cook. Like the things he makes are very telegenic,
Okay.
but he kind of annoys me. Then there's Joshua Weissman, who his sense of humor is more, I guess cracked, YouTube hyperactive, quick
Okay.
cuts,
Ooh, yeah,
a lot of like cartoony, annoying kind of music cues. His big thing is making fast food meals, but with better ingredients or whatever.
Interesting.
He's also really annoying. Then there's this dude, Sippin' Fees. He's just like a regular dude from Long Island who he has like a wife and a kid. Doesn't really, his kitchen looks like a normal kitchen.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's like,
Right.
he has like a kitchen island, not everyone has that, but I just mean it's like not like some glamorous Architectural Digest type
Not like
thing.
made for TV or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
He kind of looks and sounds like a wholesome Mike Racine.
Wow.
Like
I
the same
that.
voice,
I really like that.
but just he's not, making fun of like retarded people or whatever.
It's funny. It's funny you mention that because I just in my head I'm like, Mike Racine should just do this.
He used
cooking
to.
show.
I don't know if he still does, but for a while he was like selling sauce.
I know. It's so cool.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So he did a jambalaya episode, which it's funny. He's like from Long Island. It's like from the Northeast making, but looked like a pretty good recipe. I decided to go for it. It's pretty easy. It's like you like the three ingredients, the three meats, I guess, are like shrimp, chicken, and sausage.
Okay.
So you like sear the sausage and the chicken. You set those aside. Then you saute onion, celery, and bell pepper. Then you mix rice into that. Mm-hmm. Then you put like paprika and some other spices. Then you put like 2 cups of chicken broth in there. Then you put all the meat back in. Separately, you saute shrimp. You put it all together. It's really tasty.
Sounds so good.
Came out really good. I was pretty proud of it.
I'm really.
I think I'll make you a version of that. I'd have to think about like how to like what veggies to substitute the meats with.
I mean, honestly, I'm down to just try it as is because this is actually jambalaya is a thing. Oddly enough, it must have come from some cookbook, but my mom used to make it a bunch when I was a little kid.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Made it a bunch, and it was like might have been my favorite thing she ever cooked.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a great
so
meal.
Good.
Yeah, it's really good for leftovers too.
Yeah. I used to really. That was something I really got down with.
Dude, nice. Yeah. Well, I'll be excited to hear how mine compares.
I would
or
love to,
if it lives up to your
I'm
memory.
sure
of it.
it will. You're like a good cook.
Oh,
I
thanks,
just don't
man.
have the. I don't have the. I mean, I'm sure I could develop.
You've cooked me stuff before.
Again.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I've like cooked stuff before. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I used to make like a chili, like a vegetarian kind of chili thing.
Nice. Yeah,
Like
chili's
years
a very
and years
easy
ago.
thing to eat veg.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of.
I mean, this is kind of cheating, but if you use like beyond beef, like ground beef, that's like that like really goes a long way.
True, I've actually never had that.
It's pretty good.
I've never had it in chili.
Got it. Yeah.
I've had it. Yeah, it's true, and it's actually funny you mentioned that. Given the science topic.
Yeah, dude. Actually, yeah. You know what? Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, this is science. It could count as business, I guess. Florida bans lab-grown meat. Which I think is an interesting. I think it's an interesting story. Okay, the New York Times headline: "We will save our beef." Pause. Is that a pause? I don't know.
Yeah.
Florida
I think so.
bans lab-grown meat, and essentially it's like Ron DeSantis has decided to make this kind of a culture war wedge issue, and is like, we're not going to let libs with their weird, with their like engineered fake meat, take over our culture, and we're going to save the ranchers and whatnot. I mean, it is true that also lab grown meat is like really far away from being scalable and even close to threatening to replace the meat industry. But I guess it's like I don't know how many people work in the meat industry and how much of a labor impact it would have if suddenly tomorrow you could get like good and cheap lab grown meat in a grocery store.
Yeah.
But to me it feels like, and I eat meat, I like meat, but it's like, first the ethical considerations around it, it's like hard to defend. And then also it's like a huge climate, like beef specifically,
right? Beef specifically.
And you know what it is, I kind of knew this, but just reading it again, it's just funny. It's like, apparently it's just because cows burp, and the amount of methane produced by cows like burping and farting in aggregate is like enough to like warm the planet. Damn, dude. Which is nuts. That's so many cows. Can you imagine like that just like individuals
that's wild.
Emitting?
But that is crazy. But I guess it's like they're breeding so many for the purpose of eventual slaughter.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I think like it's like most land in America that's crazy, is like used for cattle.
Yeah, I also heard that like, and this is probably like a secondary effect, but like the amount of water it takes to in terms of like the processing of like a hamburger or something is like a crazy amount of...
Yeah, I don't know that, but I believe it.
But I probably doesn't compare to what you're saying with like the methane, just the sheer amount of cows. That's just crazy. I can't believe that. That's so much.
Yeah, so to me, lab-grown meat, if that actually became scalable, to me it would feel exciting. And like...
Yeah.
Because it's like, and I'm actually curious about this because you're vegetarian. I don't know if you do it for ethical or for health reasons, but if you could, and you eat meat sometimes. Like, but like, how would you, would you eat meat? Yeah. Would you eat meat more if it was lab grown? And if it was good?
Probably if it was like more accessible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty accessible. It's like if you go to most grocery stores, there's some version of it.
I don't think they have lab grown though.
Not lab grown. Definitely not lab grown.
No, they have like beyond.
Yeah. Which
isn't meat. It's just like
which is a good. That's like a interesting distinction because lab grown I've never had.
I don't think it's available. Most places. I think there's a couple of places that do lab-grown poultry.
Damn.
That have at least been approved by the FDA to sell their product, and there might be a couple restaurants who are able to.
Okay, because lab-grown, like I'm under the impression that it's like very similar DNA to just an actual.
They take DNA from an animal, and then they grow it separately.
Okay.
Along with various, let me read from the article that says this process.
Yeah, because the Beyond stuff and all that, it's like I have that from like time to time. I usually don't get it, but I'm still not sure like what the
difference is.
Not even like what that. Like how that is for like a human body. Like I feel like people haven't consumed it enough to kind of tell.
Oh,
like,
sure.
If it's good for you or not.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah. Okay. To create and cultivate the meat, cells are removed from live animals, and then water, salt, and nutrients like amino acids, minerals, and vitamins are added to the cells, which multiply in large tanks. The resulting meat product can be shaped into patties or sausage forms.
Wow.
I like sausage forms.
Yeah, sausage forms.
But
that's so cool.
Yeah, so it's definitely like, I mean, yeah, it's like cool. It definitely doesn't sound very appetizing. Like I see the like there's an aesthetic quality to lab grown meat that's a little bit repulsive. It feels like a sci-fi movie,
Yeah.
a futuristic,
For sure.
gross, depressing future where
Right.
everybody just gets their like nutrition paste or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess I feel like if you can like make like ground, like also with, just, I bet it'd be like really hard to make like a lab grown steak. 'Cause like the way that steak looks, the cut of it, the grain of it, everything that's like so flesh like.
Yeah.
And but with ground beef, it's like to me it feels really that probably is the first thing they'll be able to do.
Yeah, because
And
it's just like
Yeah,
you
it's
just form it into
just a
a
paste.
shape
Yeah.
that you're used to, which
Yeah,
is
and
what
it's
they
like-
do with regular meat anyway.
Yeah,
with,
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
burgers and hot
totally. So
dogs.
to me, it's like, if that tastes good, then it's like, why wouldn't you just get that? And if that can replace like the fucking bulk of beef, and then maybe they're still using cattle for in a smaller, it's like you go to a nice restaurant, it's like they have steak, and
Yeah.
like but it's not this like massive thing.
Right.
To me, that feels like a win.
I think so too. It's like, and that's why when just like seeing this headline, I was kind of like, I'm not entirely opposed to them doing this, but I bet the reason is like a culture thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is like, I mean, what is it? He says like, DeSantis, he's like, I'm doing this to push back against the global elites.
Yeah, totally.
And it's like, all right, now it kind of like just loses.
Yeah, I mean, all of his
credibility
arguments
to
are
me.
like aesthetic. It's like,
Yeah.
these will be people who will lecture the rest of us about things like global warming. They will say, you can't drive an internal combustion engine vehicle. You'll say that agriculture is bad. Meanwhile, they're flying to Davos in their private jets. Which, look, to be fair, like, yes.
Yeah, he's right.
Yes,
about
they
that
are.
last
And
part.
yeah, private jets are bad, and a lot of elites, Al Gore probably flies private to go to Davos. And yeah, for sure, that's like worth criticizing. But it's like, yeah, it's all,
But you're getting too far away from the actual issue, which is like, I just don't know enough about this yet. I feel like that's a sufficient thing.
Yeah.
Like, this feels performative
It's definitely performative.
because it's like, I feel like this isn't even on most people's radar anyway.
I know, again, because it's not even at a point where it would seriously threaten the
It's like-
meat industry.
I feel like it's like less than a year ago I saw like a headline that was like, people have like even attempted doing this.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty new.
Yeah.
I think I started hearing about it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, so his opposition to it feels very performative, and one part of the article I thought was funny is that anyone who's caught growing lab grown meat in Florida will be sentenced with 60 days in jail. Just like how would you independently do that? It's like a meth lab like Breaking Bad style like. Floridians are, resourceful enough. I could see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's like roadside lab-grown meat and bath salts.
yeah, exactly. Oh, here's what I wanted to say. I was like sort of blanking on it. The one argument against lab-grown meat that isn't what Ron DeSantis is saying, but I think is convincing, is that I think some people are criticizing it as like basically a like silver bullet to fix climate change that isn't actually realistic, and to actually, and like a bunch of startups are getting like billions of dollars in funding because they're like, we're going to offer lab-grown meat.
Right.
But like realistically, to actually do that at scale, it would just require so much production capital.
Yeah.
You would have to have these like spotlessly clean vats in which to do it, because if anything gets contaminated, it would immediately affect like so much food supply.
Yeah, whoa.
So it's like the hygiene of it would have to be at such a high level, comparable to like pharma. And pharma's prices are all crazy, right? Like it's all completely out of whack. It's like overpriced, filtered through insurance. So to be able to do that and then also sell it at like, $8 a pound at the grocery store,
Yeah.
it's like maybe not possible at all.
It's a really good point.
So that is an actually, I think, good argument against it. I mean, it's not to ban it because it's like these are process issues that could be resolved.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like feasible.
Yeah. So anyway, so DeSantis just banning it is like, it's like it's part of his anti-woke thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like now I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I feel like if he could be like lab-grown meat is gay.
Yeah, totally.
It's banned.
I bet he could.
There's like something.
I mean, Trump could. He'd not literally call it gay,
right.
but he could, through his rhetorical elastic mind, like conflate lab-grown meat and like LGBTQ stuff, and I think he has the political skill to do that.
Yeah, because there is kind of like a masculine undertone to just like eating meat. I mean, it's kind, especially now with,
totally.
Like, influencers and shit, where it's like, who's that guy? I don't know anything.
The Liver King.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Liver King for sure. Actually, he's a better example. Liver King, most of it, because it's like, it's this historically masculine.
Yeah, you kill an animal, you eat its flesh.
Right.
Yeah, totally. It's like
so.
it is interesting how this, and I get it. Again, the aesthetics of it are somewhat repulsive. You get a bunch of weird egghead scientists to grow meat, and it's like weird.
Well, yeah, I know.
I get why there's a kind of stomach churning quality to it.
Yeah,
but it's also stomach churning to think about the conditions of a bunch of pigs.
I know.
In a factory farm.
Yeah, the other thing that's like kind of, I feel like would just be difficult to like kind of get this idea rolling is I feel like this idea is for people who already eat meat, and this is like a replacement.
Yeah,
because I feel like people who don't eat meat, it's like, at least for me personally, I'm like, I don't really care about this.
Right.
Like, I would try it, and I would probably get it from time to time.
Right, but you're fine without it.
Yeah, it's like,
but no, it is for people that eat meat, and if you just tell people to mitigate climate change, you have to not eat meat. It's bad. But nobody's going to do it. It's bad politics.
Do it, yeah.
It's just like it's so first because meat's cheap.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, sorry. So I can't get a whole chicken for $5 because it's ethic. What? Like, there's just no way you're going to convince people of that.
Dude, I don't even eat meat, and I love that that's still a possibility.
Dude, totally. No, it's the best. I mean, though chicken, I think is much. I mean, I think the ethics around chickens are worse.
Yeah,
they're treated worse, but the climate
they are treated worse.
Yeah, they get like. I mean, it's horrible. They get like debeaked and stuff.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah. But
shout out chickens.
Well, yeah, no, shout out chickens for sure. I've got nothing against them, even though I eat their flesh constantly. But the climate with like beef that cattle is like that's like as far as the climate stuff.
Right.
That's the worst emitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, but you're not going to convince people to unless you offer them a good alternative.
Right.
And if this actually can turn out to be a good alternative, to me, it feels like a no-brainer.
I know. I guess I'm not trying to pull a fast one on anyone, but it's like, obviously, you have to tell people. But I feel like if people didn't know and they just got it to a point where,
oh sure,
like,
you're right.
At least
with,
that's
like,
interesting.
Burgers
and stuff. But
also, they got to come up with a better name for a brand than lab-grown meat. I've seen cell-based meat, which doesn't sound any better.
Yeah, I'm still not with it.
Artificial meat doesn't sound good.
That's something you really got to workship.
Yeah,
with like
Chat GPT meat.
who's like a good, like, we need some, like, what was like a famous rebrand that like really worked out?
Oh, good question.
That we need to like get in the boardroom.
Dude,
with.
yeah. That's like this is a whole separate issue. But what is the best rebrand of all time?
I'm like stumped.
You know what, Domino's, like, I remember they like started releasing commercials it might have been the late 2000s where they're like, hey, we're actually using good cheese now. They were like, literally the commercials were like, sorry that our pizza sucked and that was made with bad ingredients. We are no longer doing that. And everybody loves Domino's. Not everybody loves, but people eat Domino's.
Yeah, people eat Domino's.
It is
Domino's.
What's up? Domino's, yeah.
Domino's is. Wait, do you know about this?
No, what is that?
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I said it accidentally.
Right.
But on purpose. This was a McCusker family tradition. When pizza got delivered, all the kids would wait outside and go, Domino's.
Oh, that's cute. That's actually very cute. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, but Domino's has good, people like it. It's oh dude, I think did I ever tell you that I once ordered carbonara from Domino's?
I mean, probably, but I love that.
Yeah, it was.
It's just I forgot that was like an option.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but yeah, it was a pretty psychotic move.
I bet it was kind of good though.
It was kind of good.
Yeah,
I definitely ate it like all at once and was happy to. So basically, I'd come back. I'd done a spot in Manhattan, and I was biking home. And as soon as I was on the Williamsburg Bridge, it started pouring rain, like aggressively, like the most rain I've ever, biked through.
Yeah.
It was just like nonstop. And I had had a really long week. I'd worked a lot, and this was like the end of it. And I was just like so like pissed and like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Got
home, and I was really hungry, and I didn't know what to order. And I was thinking I should order from somewhere where their delivery drivers have cars.
Oh, smart.
Because I don't want to order from somewhere where some fucking poor guy is going to be like on his e-bike through this. So
honestly, yeah, that's like kind of an experienced, considerate.
Yeah, that was some ethical consumption right there, I guess.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then I was looking at the Domino's menu, and I was like, dude, I don't want to eat a pizza. It's like a fucking 12:30 a.m. I don't want to eat a pizza. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at the pastas. I mean, if you go off pizza on the Domino's menu, it's immediately you're just like in like a place you shouldn't be,
Yeah, it's dark. Dark web.
It is a dark web.
It's Silk Road.
And then I saw carbonara, and then my troll. I was like trolling myself, kind of. I was like, dude, it's so because I like look at Reddit a lot, and people will post pictures of carbonara they made, and then immediately people are like, that's not carbonara, that's wrong. You didn't emulsify the egg enough, or what kind of bacon is used? It should be pancetta. Uh-huh. So I was like, it sounds amazing to eat.
Yeah,
and it was basically like Alfredo. It wasn't anything.
Okay,
definitely wasn't carbonara.
But the audacity.
I felt funny to do that.
I like that a lot,
and I ate it all, and it was pretty tasty.
That sounds awesome, and that's kind of like a good, like it's almost like a spite order.
Like I was spiting myself, and
but I've done
Italy.
I've done shit like that where I'm. This is a very Italy centric conversation. I mean, really unfortunate. We look when it comes to Italy, America invented the remix. Shout out.
That's very true. Wait, but yeah, I guess we haven't figured out what is the best rebrand of all time.
Yeah. I actually don't know.
I mean, I feel like Kanye in between the Taylor Swift VMAs moment and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
That's a really good one.
That wasn't a rebrand, but I mean...
But it's like a reinvigoration.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned like a musician because I'm kind of in the same boat with Bieber.
Oh,
remember because Bieber got caught like pissing in buckets backstage and like drinking lean and shit.
Yeah.
And then he did the Comedy Central roast. It's kind of like...
That's pretty smart. Yeah.
So
a lot of it has to do with like owning the things that people are criticizing about you.
Yeah, it's
and
like
contextualizing them.
It's like personal image and like that's actually, I mean, I guess that certainly counts as a rebound in like today's landscape where it's like Justin Bieber and Kanye West are brands.
Right.
I just don't know like a business.
Right.
Like a legitimate, like just a place where you go in and like buy something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, we'll percolate on it.
Yeah, this is gonna it'll hit us. Share comments too.
Yeah, absolutely. Please chime in.
The one thing that does make me laugh.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
the one
go
thing that
ahead.
does make me laugh is the rebrand of HBO Max to Max.
I mean, that's like
Which
already
perhaps-
HBO to HBO Max and then HBO Max to Max. It's like
might be the worst.
I mean, it's shocking and
Literally.
almost kind of impressive in how bad it is.
It's the elimination of the primary identity.
Literally, yeah. Like the one thing people immediately associated with quality,
It's so
you
funny to me.
slowly scrub it out, and that they did it incrementally too.
Yeah,
Nuts.
I almost it's like perverse.
I know.
that I enjoy it kind of.
No, yeah, I kind of I have to. Oh, also, Zaslav was courtside at like a Knicks game, and that was just funny. Him and John McEnroe,
Whoa,
weird pair. Yeah,
that is a weird pair. A very like irritable pair.
yeah, totally. But yeah, HBO to HBO Max to Max is definitely bottom. So bad it might be good in a way. And also because, it's like that went along with them just adding random shit from their entire library.
Well, yeah, that's
so it
true
also
too.
diluted what it is. It's like, because you can watch
It kind of, yeah. I mean,
you can
they
watch
kinda,
reality TV and The Sopranos on the same app. It's like, okay, nothing makes
Right.
any sense.
Yeah, they're like updating it like in the reverse order from like name backwards, because now it's like the content, like the new content is not HBO content necessarily. You know what I mean?
Not
It's
necessarily, but then like the Gerard Carmichael show,
Yeah.
when you watch it, it starts with the static HBO thing.
Like, I know.
So sometimes it's like it is an HBO brand, but it's under the Max umbrella. I mean, it's a mess.
True. It'd be funny if next year they were like, we're rebranding again to Jeffrey Epstein's Max.
I know.
It's just like, how can you make this worse?
Yeah, I know, totally. Stalin Max.
A subsidiary of the Weinstein Corporation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move on to the next. This is a very meat heavy pod, because the next is business.
Yeah.
Sweetgreen is introducing steak. What about its climate goals? The fast casual chain aims to be climate neutral by 2027, but beef is a big contributor to climate change. First of all, what do you think of Sweetgreen?
I used to go there more frequently.
Yeah.
And I've kind of stopped, although I feel like I was in one kind of recently, but or I was near one recently where I saw the steak thing
Yeah.
that you're talking about. But I mean, I like it. It's like if you don't order like the crazy fancy salads,
Yeah.
it's like pretty affordable and like
What are we
Healthy.
talking about? $12, $13?
I try to keep it at like 11,
All right.
11 to 12.
If you can do, yeah, dude.
But that's
I feel like a
'cause I'm like-
Sweetgreen order under 10 would be impressive.
I think it's impossible. It like I've like tried
Yeah.
like years ago. I used to work close to a Sweetgreen, so I would go. But yeah, it's like not possible
No.
anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you get like a piece of bread.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, but yeah, I think their stuff is kind of good.
Dude, I mean, I bet steak in a Sweetgreen salad is honestly fucking awesome. I bet it tastes really good.
I mean, this is and yeah, I bet it is. And honestly, for like the thing that's kind of interesting about this article, which it's like they are taking into account. Where's the second paragraph where it's like many Americans trying to increase their protein intake.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, is that the Liver King effect?
I think it's a combination of like Liver King and like wellness like influencers.
Yeah, right.
Where it's like, because this was actually interesting. Like one of our friends was on the carnivore diet, and he was like, it's Matt, but
Yeah.
like he was. I was with him when he was like going through this, and he was like, I have to eat something else. Because otherwise I'm going to shit my pants. Yeah. And also I'm just like miserable.
Right.
Like it was really like difficult. And he
dude,
would
if you're
order
only eating meat. It's like I feel like you would get such like heartburn.
I know. But it's like, I think it's a very specific, I don't know enough about it. But yeah, I mean, I think probably for the first little bit, you probably are. But he would get like Sweetgreen salads, but like just the lettuce and like maybe like some olive oil or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, here's the answer to like people who are, I bet there's many people doing shit like carnivore or like keto.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're probably ecstatic about this, but it's like,
Are those people going to Sweetgreen?
I think they are, honestly.
Really?
Because well, most definitely now, which is an interesting, it's like, this is kind of perfect for that type of customer, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like Sweetgreen's doing fine.
Dude, what do you think? Sweetgreen, you order off like a iPad, essentially, right? You like press buttons that tell you like what to add in? Or is
no, the ones that,
humans
maybe
in the loop the whole time?
Yeah, maybe they do have that at some, but everyone that I've been to is like assembly line.
Okay,
like,
it's like Chipotle for salad.
Yeah, exactly. But and it's like, it's very much a city dweller restaurant.
Yeah.
So, and I think, people who are buying Sweetgreen salads on the regular are most likely people that like have a pretty good like budget.
Oh, definitely.
A pretty flexible budget to accommodate Sweetgreen on a daily basis. And I'm just kind of like generating, like, I feel like Sweetgreen did this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, let's develop like a composite sketch of what our customer is.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I feel like influenced by like Liver King and wellness influencers is a big part of that.
Yeah. And because now they're like, all right, we have to change the composite sketch somewhat because of this new information we're getting. So I just wanted to quote some of the, as this is like a quote from, I think, the president.
Oh, yeah.
The founder of Sweetgreen.
Oh, right.
As more people are eating more meat, we see that as an opportunity to go and really be a change agent and catalyst in the supply chain. It's like, dude, what? What does the last half of that sentence mean at all? A catalyst in the supply chain?
It's like, if you just say enough things, if you just put enough together that like sounds similar to a sentence, like, and especially like, that's what's crazy is like he can get away with that sentence,
dude. Absolutely, yeah.
To a reporter,
right? Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, I almost think the reporter kind of. I mean, I don't know. This isn't like a hit piece or anything, but
no.
If I was a reporter, I wouldn't even. I'd be like, let's just let this stand on its own. Like,
well, that's
actually so stupid.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's so crazy.
And then there, as far as the ecological impact. The beef is pasture raised mostly on farms in Australia and New Zealand that are rooted in regenerative farming principles and were chosen for their high standards on animal welfare and gentle impact on the land. Do you know anything about regenerative farming? I don't. And they kind of give a little bit of detail later on in the article about like techniques maintain. Oh, that's right.
Soil,
yeah, maintain healthy
carbon.
Soil, sequester carbon in plant roots and tissues.
But the thing that I'm hung up on is like...
And experts disagree on just how far this methodology goes toward creating sustainable beef.
Yeah, because it's like... Okay, that's fine. It says Australia and New Zealand. Isn't this article about Sweetgreen in the United States? So it's like... What are you using to get it over to America?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
dude, totally. Yeah.
Are you just offsetting it? Like...
Well, that's literally. I mean, it says it's like most of their carbon neutral thing is buying carbon offsets.
Oh yeah.
So once you see that, it's like, all right, this is total bullshit.
Yeah, it's like this is literally just a play to kind of juice the numbers a little bit,
right?
Make some more money. And
listen, just do that.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, we're in. Like, this is. I've never used this term. I'm sure it's like accurate. It's kind of like a trendy, but like greenwashing.
It is. That's exactly what I thought.
It's for sure what it is, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's like we're just, we have to do this in a way that doesn't make it seem like we're just trying to make more money. And it's like, you can do that, dude.
Yeah,
No
but
one's
it
gonna
is
give a
funny
fuck.
because it's like Sweetgreen because they're a salad based.
Yeah.
Dude, also, I wanted to go
Yeah.
back to the first paragraph.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know why. The fast casual salad chain Sweetgreen.
Mm-hmm.
Just that series of words. It gets me horny.
It is very
Fast casual salad chain is I
Yeah.
mean, it's like a perfect description of it. Fast casual
Yeah.
is a really nice composite word.
Yes.
I know it, obviously we know what it means. It's just like a funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just it's like once I hear that, I picture everything about it.
Yeah, true.
And that's what it is. It's like you could like input this into AI image generator.
Yes.
And what it would shit out would be the Sweetgreen in, Midtown.
Yeah. With like the Babish kitchen, like it all looks like, and I've never
dude,
seen
it is.
it.
Yeah, dude,
but
totally.
I know what you're talking about, where it's like,
Dude, yeah.
it's all very like kind of minimal, clean,
yes,
spacious,
sleek, metallic.
It's like eating in an Apple store.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, great. Absolutely. That I will buy a Sweetgreen steak salad pretty soon, probably.
Just to try it.
Yeah, I want it. I'm hungry for it.
Honestly, I mean, the sign, like the steak, it looks good. The
Yeah.
one thing that was making me laugh too is like they're just like pushing the goalposts, and it's like eventually it's just gonna be like steak and a baked potato.
Yeah, dude,
That's
totally.
really
Yeah. Listen, potato is veggie. That's salad.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, I'm sorry. Another just jargon. Not only do we have a duty on a human level to do our part, but the business case for a great product that also protects the planet is clear.
The business case.
Yeah, it's just like wait, how great this protects the planet.
Yeah.
My-
I know. Yeah, it protects the planet.
Yeah,
So it's
just like Applebee's would
no.
never do this. They would never be like, our new like margarita is like part of our great plan to build sustainable cities. It's just like, dude,
this is brainwashing.
yeah, it's so stupid.
Not even greenwashing. It's literally brainwashing, where it's like, yeah, you're right. Applebee's would just be like a race car
Yeah, exactly.
in a commercial, and then it's like, we have steak now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
in the martinis.
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yes, yeah, martini braised steak. Yeah,
Wait, yeah.
yeah. They're not like this is like part of our great action plan toward restorative justice.
Wait, can I indulge and read that
Please.
sentence from the founder again?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like this should count as the poem too.
Yeah.
As more people are eating more meat, we see this as an opportunity to go and really be a change agent and catalyst in the supply chain.
It's so good.
Bro. It's like,
I love the wordiness of like as an opportunity to go and really be a like it's like 6 words where you could have used it's just great, dude. It's awesome.
this is a great, like, I appreciate you sharing this
Yeah, no, it's
meat centric article.
dude, okay, let's move on to social media nonsense. This
Yeah,
really made me
yo,
laugh. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter.
I didn't. I saw it in the agenda.
Yeah, dude. So J.K. Rowling, as usual, popping off about trans issues on Twitter, are arguing with people about what specifically makes a woman. The tweet that she was talking about, that this is in response to, was literally like, it used the word gametes, GAMETES, which is just like,
I remember it from high school.
yeah, I know exactly. It's just like, dude, you're getting so deep in the weeds of like reproductive biology. It's fucking nuts.
I know.
Anyway, so she was doing that, popping off, and then Elon Musk replied to her and says, while I heartily agree with your points regarding sex/gender, may I suggest also posting interesting and positive content on other matters. It was and I think Elon's a bit of a doofus,
Sure.
but I did have to concede that this was epic sauce.
It's like, I agree with him on the last part, where he's like, Maybe just here's a suggestion.
Just talk about literally anything else.
This is a big website. You can the internet's a big place. You can post other stuff.
Dude, the way he worded it too is really funny. Also posting
sounds-
interesting and positive content on other I mean, that's
Dude,
like the guy we were just quoting. It's like
It's a combination of the guy we were just quoting and spam emails.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
real sounds like
It's true.
like
Yeah, it is.
ESL.
Especially like while I heartily agree with your points regarding also yeah, it's just funny. It's just like I mean, yeah, it's like just the two like worst people on Twitter. Like
Yeah,
it's just like
true.
an amazing like meeting of minds.
That is funny that he kind of just like found his way into the comments.
Because I mean,
I guess
it's
he's on
also
Twitter all
it's like
day.
he owns Twitter, and so it's
know.
literally it's like he's like, okay, J.K. Rowling just can't stop posting about trans stuff, and like this is hurting the bottom line of this business that I've bought.
Well, yeah, which
Maybe is it's just like a funny,
it's true.
real
and that's-
active CEO.
Yeah, which it feels weird because he owns it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's very close to editorializing, but
Yeah.
it's a suggestion.
True.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's like kind of close
Yeah.
to like
that's true.
crossing a line.
Yeah.
But it is funny that he was just on Twitter and like, I think I have to say something.
I know. Yeah. I just love that.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. I mean, this is truly like
It is crazy. This is kind of seemingly all she's spent her public life doing
I know.
for, I mean, 6 years.
Yeah, it's pretty like she's 10 toes down on this.
Yeah.
And she's really like standing up for it.
Yeah. Wait, what was the expression you used?
10 toes down.
Does that just mean like?
Just like standing your ground.
Oh, sure,
being
sure.
very,
Yeah,
like,
got it. Yeah.
Standing on business.
Yeah, you're like really planting your feet into it.
Yeah. But
And then also it's funny that there keeps being new weird like Harry Potter extensions of the universe.
I know, but it's crazy that
There's like a museum that just opened.
why is she so worked up about it? Like I guess I've never really I know she's just legit like very biology's this way.
Yeah.
This is how it should be. Like I know she's very traditionalist and that which is it's her right. It's fine. But it's like I don't know why she's so active about it on Twitter.
I mean, I guess
she's the other side of the crusade.
She's gotten enough criticism about it that it's like how
yeah.
Chappelle has, every special
Whoa.
since.
Imagine that link up.
Wow, dude, yeah, I know. Yeah, wow.
But you're right. It is every special since.
Yeah, so there's similar quality. Sorry, I'm just imagining J.K. Rowling, Chappelle on Rogan with like an MMA fighter.
I was just gonna say there is
Yeah.
always like a very unique.
Dude, J.K. Rowling on Kill Tony.
That actually might be awesome.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting.
I'm just thinking of like a backstage at like a Chappelle show where it's like Travis Scott. And it's like J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
It's like all right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always has like a unique collection of like folks.
It's like Rowling, Warren Buffett. But yeah, I think it's like basically they publicly said something on this issue, then they got a ton of pushback, and then that activated their defensiveness.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, this is I'm going to war here.
No, I get that. You're probably right. Where it's like, I just said my opinion on the internet.
Yeah.
And now you gave me hell for it, and now I just won't shut up about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get it.
So that made me laugh.
It is funny.
Do you want to move on to word of the week? I'm pretty excited about this one.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
Okay. I'm like, it's so okay. Pork as a verb meaning to have sex. This is I'm like I stuttered saying it because it's vile.
Wait, do you like it or not?
I like it a lot, but
Okay.
it's disgusting. I like how disgusting it is. I was like, and I've been thinking about it all day. I was like literally like writing this agenda this morning, and I was like, word of the week. I haven't like, nothing comes to mind, and then from somewhere in the recesses of my memory, pork, meaning to have sex, came up, and I was like, dude, I haven't heard anyone say that in a while, but
it's really good.
It's like fucking gross.
It's so gross. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I
don't I don't use it, but I love hearing it.
Yeah. I just don't even know in what context you would use it, because it's like, I think what's so interesting about it. Well, first, okay, maybe it's because it's like recently some of the words that we've chosen are bricked up and cracked.
Sure.
So words that end with like a K are kind of on the brain, you know?
This kind of like goes along with why I like it.
Yeah, but then it's like, what's interesting about it is that it is hostile to sexuality. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing sensual or erotic about it. It's like just like pure grim filth, you know?
It is like, it's very like, I mean, it's similar. It's like assembly line shit.
Yeah, it is.
So it's so good.
Like, can you imagine like to your beloved being like, you're looking so hot tonight. I want to pork you so bad. It's like Joe Bazooka levels of like, you know what I mean? It's like I would see that there. It's like this weird hoodlum. To me, it also, I don't know, it feels like mid 2000s internet maybe.
Oh, true. Yeah, for sure.
That kind of like dark, like it feels 4chan-y.
Yeah, pork.
I mean, it feels like it's a very incel kind of word. It's like,
yeah, true.
It's it's just like these are just two beasts, you know, causing a ruckus in the mud, you know.
Yeah, it also, I mean, and as is the case with many like generally used sexual terms, it kind of is male centric.
Yeah,
pork.
Yeah,
so it's like.
Yeah, two lesbians porking. It doesn't feel.
But I will say I'd like to advocate for more female usage.
Yeah, okay.
Because it doesn't have to be dick centric.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's just bodies rubbing.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, I feel like pork. Initially, dude, I don't know. It's the more I think about it, like the deeper the shit gets deeper and deeper. Just the deeper I go, it just echoes in my.
I know
head.
It's like it's sticky. It's a sticky idea.
You know who I mean, again, shout out Rainey. Rainey uses it from time to time.
Oh, he does.
Mike Rainey uses it from time to time.
Like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and I think
that fits.
It does,
yeah.
And
does he talk about like porking his wife?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Or actually, I don't want to. He might, but like I feel like just talking about sex.
Yeah,
it just kind of porking.
That's nice. I mean, I if anybody could do it, I think Mike could imbue some eroticism into it.
It's like it's an eroticism, and then it's also like a good-natured, just acceptance. And with discussing sexuality, but
it's earthy, yeah, like a truffle pig. You know, it's like you might have to dig around a little bit, but you might get some nice aromas down in there. You know.
Do you know when the last time you heard it was?
Dude, no. That's what's so surprising to me about how it came up. It came unbidden out of my consciousness.
It's really like. It's like the more I look at the word, the more it is it's like exciting and funny to me.
I know. And I was thinking about. I mean, I don't want not to get too like self-indulgent or like linguistics, kind of brained about it, but like it's like I was thinking about like fuck and pork, right?
Yeah.
And how pork is so much more disgusting than fuck, even though fuck is like a bad word,
right?
And I think it's the R is doing a lot to make it sound grosser.
No, I think you're totally right.
Because it's like, what's up?
The RK at the end.
The RK,
like that combination.
It gives it a gooey center. It's like, it makes it sound like more wet somehow.
I know.
And then the other thing I was thinking about it is that I don't think, I mean, I might be wrong here. I'm ready to be wrong, but I would be surprised to hear that a black person has ever used this to mean fuck. And I feel like that tells me something.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, and I'd be interested to see the numbers.
Yeah, maybe dudes from LA just because the accent, like, we porkin'.
Yeah, I mean that's a good.
But yeah, I'm just like, I just think, like, I feel like black, like R&B people will talk about like freaking as like fucking, which is great.
It was really good.
We freaking tonight.
Yeah.
That's like that's awesome. It's like very
so cool.
sexy.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah,
just like I just don't think I just can't imagine.
I think you're right. It's like maybe Beetlejuice from Stern.
Okay, yeah. Or wait, who is that?
Beetlejuice from Stern, the like the black dude who used to like wear boxing gloves and shit.
Oh,
Stern.
okay.
I'll show him to you.
Yeah. And then I was maybe BFB the
BFB to Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I feel like he could, that actually, it's like that could be like a punchline in one of his songs.
That's a good point. He might. One, wordsmith. Two, gross.
Yes.
So
yeah,
like,
totally. And like funny. Like very funny.
And really funny.
Yeah.
So he might have it. He might be the one.
Yeah.
He might be Neo in this.
Yeah. I mean, I hope if, I think he could imbue it with some new popularity.
Yeah. That's actually, I would like that. That'd be really good. I feel like now I'm like, did he say it already?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I just, I feel like it's like one of his many punchlines about Lizzo.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about pork as a verb meaning to have sex?
No, it's just like,
I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's been rattling around my head.
I really like it. And it's, I mean, it's like if I see that word on a menu, I think twice.
Yeah.
I'm like, I try not to. I'm trying to like, come on, man. You're out to dinner. Like,
yeah.
Not like, it's not like I'm going to order it, but like, this is a separate pork.
Right, yeah.
But it just makes me think. I'm like, this word is excitable. It
is, yeah. It's like...
It can be like interpreted... Obviously, it can be interpreted...
I mean, it's. I guess its etymology is just pig that you eat.
Oh, okay.
Pig, the food version of pig. There's actually, you know what? This is a kind of separate thing, but this is kind of interesting. Wait, do you have something you want to say on that?
No, it's just.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's still just funny.
I know. Yeah, it is funny. So there's this whole thing about how, like certain like cow and beef, lamb, or like sheep and mutton, pork and pig.
Yeah.
These are the same animals, but they have different etymologies. And some people, I think, have pointed out that it's like, I believe it's like at some early point in the history of England, when the Normans, who I think were French, were like the ruling class, all of the words they used were like eating the food. So pork, beef,
I see,
mutton. But then the people that were actually like raising the food, so dealing with the animals themselves, were English, and the words came from like Saxon, German.
Wow.
So that's pig, sheep, cow.
Whoa.
So that's kind of interesting.
That is really interesting.
So the fact that pork has a French etymology also adds to the freakiness.
Whoa, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that angle a lot. Pret a manger after dark.
Dude, I know. Yeah. Pork et manger.
That's interesting that there's like class, like a history of like class almost associated with.
Yeah, no, and I guess
words.
that I feel like that's like a thing with the language in general is
Yeah, true.
the way that class and language are intertwined. Class, and I'm not blowing any minds by saying class is like
Sure.
imbued in so many things.
Right. It's just,
Yeah.
when it even as specific as like eating and growing or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then also that pork is like haram. It's like you can't.
Yes.
It's like you can't eat it because it's a dirty animal.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know if Judaism has. I think Judaism has similar
Okay.
food restrictions, and it's the same reason. It's that it's a dirty animal,
Wow.
which is just I don't know. It's just interesting. And then that pigs are like really smart.
Right.
They're like really emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, that's such an interesting like historical. It's like it's dirty just based on the way it it just lives in.
I guess it lives in filth. And
Yeah, it just lives in a barnyard and shit. But
Yeah.
it's
it just feels
interesting.
kind of mean to the pig.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Aren't there's also like pigs that like live in the forest and shit in Spain.
Yeah, totally. And again, truffle pigs. That's like they
Oh,
they
right.
have these
Yeah.
like they have these talents that are immensely useful.
Mhm. They might know something we don't.
Yeah. But anyway, pork. I'm really happy with that one.
Thank you for.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's move on to poetry. This will be a nice transition. Speaking of haram, actually, this is a timeless Islamic poet named
Yes.
Rumi. You ever read any Rumi?
I've read like a few short ones, but I'm not like super duper familiar.
Yeah, neither am I. I recently bought a collection of his poetry out of curiosity. I've read Hafiz, who's another kind of old, he's like a Persian poet.
Yeah.
And then I've read Khalil Gibran, who's from Lebanon. I guess he's not, I don't know if he's Muslim. I feel like his poems are like more like, they're very spiritual,
Yeah.
but they have a secular quality to them as well.
Okay.
But they're deeply like imbued with like love of God, but it's not necessarily like the Muslim God.
Cool.
But he's from like Lebanon.
Okay.
But anyway, so I don't know. I've been maybe dipping my toe into kind of like Middle Eastern
exciting.
poetry, I suppose.
It's exciting.
Anyway, this is Rumi, Only Breath.
All right.
Not Christian or Jew or Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, or Zen. Not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the East or the West, not out of the ocean or up from the ground, not natural or ethereal, not composed of elements at all. I do not exist, am not an entity in this world or in the next, did not descend from Adam and Eve or any origin story. My place is placeless, a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the two worlds as one, and that one call to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing human being. What do you think of this poem?
Thanks for reading. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I feel like all of the Rumi poems that I've read too, and you kind of touched on this, where there's like a religious, spiritual quality to them. Almost like prayer-ish.
Yes.
Almost prayer-like. So
Yeah,
there's
there's a litany to it. It's
Yeah.
like not this, then da, da, da. There's like a lot of lists going on.
and it's very simple. Like,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of space in the poem, very like small amount of words and stuff. It's just like, it's kind of like refreshing to read after reading stuff I normally read, which is just kind of, the shit we were reading before, like the articles and stuff.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Where it's like,
the like
this
CEO language.
Yeah, it's like a palate cleanser. So it's
this
almost like,
this language is very direct.
yeah, it's like soft on the eyes.
Yeah, for sure. It's fun to read.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what's going on, that as you're kind of going through the poem, it's just like removing layers of identity. First you start with like your religious identity, then it's like, I'm not from anywhere, I'm not made of anything, I have no history, I'm not anywhere. It just like it like peels off layers until there's only breath left, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a cool
It was pretty amazing.
procession of
I agree.
ideas.
That's that's a cool like just thing to acknowledge or like be aware of, because it's like, yeah, I just didn't see that immediately, but now it's like very clear.
Do you have any lines you like?
I mean, the first like stanza of the last, or the first line of the last stanza, I guess.
First, last, outer, inner.
Yeah, it's just a cool.
I like that too. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's like, very all-consuming but contradictory, but like I know what he said. Like I know what you're saying.
Well, and then that's very religious, because it isn't. I don't know where this is from, but isn't there something that God says like, I am the Alpha and the Omega, like?
Yeah, and I think even and probably like in translated in like Christian or Catholic masses, I believe there's some ceremony where they say the first shall be the last. Or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
right.
Yeah. No.
Was that related to the meek shall inherit the earth?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that too. I mean, right after it, breath breathing human being. That's got a nice little rhyme internally.
Oh yeah.
And then breath breathing, like, I don't know. It's just cool when you can do repetition and succeed.
Yeah, and it's the same word, and it's like I know what you're talking about, and also it kind of like gives like a living quality to breath before even a human like kind of interacts with it or something.
Yeah, and it is cool to think about breath in that way, that it's this entity or act that animates you. If you don't breathe, you die.
Yeah.
But it's also nothing. It's air. I mean, chemically it's not nothing. It's, cows burping,
right.
Warm the world. So there's something to breath, but
it's like dependent on somewhat. I mean, we just do it. You know, it's like, but it's kind of dependent on our functioning.
Yeah,
like it's
totally.
Depending on like going in and coming out of us.
Yeah.
To be a breathing.
For sure.
But it's there.
Yeah, it's like
there for the doing or something.
It's like it's an entity outside of yourself, but also that moves within you.
Yeah.
And is you, because speech is breath.
Right.
That is shaped by vocal cords.
Yeah.
Which is do you ever like lay in bed and think about breathing and are like, how do I do this all day without thinking about it?
Isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
And that's like that's like something, that's like a thought you think when you're like 6 years old. But it's like, it is kind of crazy.
It is, and that's also like a thing that kind of comes up. Like, I feel like that's a thing that like people who do like breath work and like meditation and all that stuff is like, I feel like that's a point they make where they're like, you don't really have to do anything. Like, you're just going to breathe for yourself. Like,
right.
This is something that just your body just does.
Yeah. Do you do meditation? Do you do like breath work?
I don't do, not like specific breath work. I don't really know much about that, but I feel like it's
but you do meditate?
It's like akin to it.
Yeah. I can never do it consistently.
I feel you. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, it's like hard to just consistently get it cracking.
But it is useful. The other thing I like about...
It'd be nice.
Breath and breathe. I like how the TH at the end of breath is like hard.
Oh, yeah.
And then breathe is soft.
True. Yeah, it's nice.
I just think it's like an interesting difference. That, I mean, if you want to get super... if you want to get try to assign meaning to it, it's interesting that like, because th is just more breath. You're just breathing harder at the end of the word. And then, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's why like that breath breathing, that's like a cool series of words, because it's kind of emphasizing the way that sound changes in these two different iterations of the word.
It almost sounds like breathing. It almost sounds like the word, like,
Sure. It's nice.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, I like I belong to the beloved.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Because that's like, that's what I am.
Right.
I'm not even that. I just belong to,
but
I'm not anything.
So nice.
I like that idea. I think there's something, it feels like, Hafiz and Rumi and Khalil Gibran, it's like their take on spirituality is so like sensual and like ecstatic.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's like, it's so, they're like absolutely fucking horned up to be like imbued with God's love.
It's true.
It's like, it's just kind of cool.
It's true. It's like, they're almost like, I don't know anything about their lives, but Rumi, it's almost like considered like he's a monk anyway or something.
Yeah.
It's like there is like a very spiritual quality that kind of just...
It feels very colorful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know that much about this, but I don't know. Just he's from Afghanistan in like 1200s.
Wow.
And so he's like part of the Islamic Golden Age.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's just like a cool period of history.
True. Yeah.
Where it's just like all these developments in astronomy and math and science and literature and just it feels very beautiful.
That's a good point. And it's like almost not competing, but it's like it's developments, but it's on this like other side of like those, that feels like technological advancement almost, or like and this feels
spiritual advancement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, true.
So I really enjoyed this poem. It sounds like you did too.
I did too. Yeah, thank you for sharing it. I like Rumi, and I like just haven't read poems from Rumi in a while.
I'm the
nice.
translation.
I appreciate you bringing it up.
The translation
again.
this is from a guy named Coleman Barks.
Okay.
Who seems to be the kind of preeminent English translator of Rumi.
All right. Cool. I might have to. Yeah, I'll check it out because like I feel like all the poems are like relatively short. And,
they're really accessible.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
So that's I don't think I have anything else on the agenda. Do you have any key learnings from today?
No. Key learnings just other than
action items.
I think I'm just gonna circle back to the Pret a Manger situation.
Yeah.
And just kind of like keep some notes.
Yeah, FYI, this happened at around 3:30 on a Saturday. So
that's like
felt very early.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so if anyone's trying to hang out in the lobby of the Union Square Pret a Manger at that time, be warned.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My action items, I guess I'm gonna probably eat a Sweetgreen salad with steak in it.
Oh, whoa, that's huge. Yeah. Actually, this is very exciting.
I'll probably do that. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
We should go to Starbucks Reserve together
Sure.
and maybe record a podcast there.
Yeah.
And this is just I feel like we've read a lot of poems that are good. We should read a poem that's bad.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to see, because it's like I think there's something interesting about like why do I dislike this poem?
Yeah, of course.
What's happening?
That's a great point.
Yeah. So
All
maybe I'll kind of look out for that.
We should investigate. I should have. Speaking of, I'm not going to dox the establishment, but the place I was before I came here had a poetry reading, a live poetry reading.
Yeah.
And it was like a class. It was like students.
Yeah.
So maybe we can go to that. And
that's a good way to hear some probably bad poetry.
So I have a feeling that's going to happen a lot. We could also probably say we're going to read poetry and then just do stand-up.
Yeah, exactly. There's something incredibly triggering as a stand-up to go to an event like that. You and I went to like a storytelling show, and I felt a little bit like...
I did too.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Because it's so earnest.
Yes, I agree. I also had a weird rush where I'm used to being in that situation and being like, I have to go up soon.
Oh, yeah.
To go up on stage. So I'm like, fuck, I'm not ready. But... I agree. It's unsettling. It's like nice, but it's like I'm not.
It's like this is wrong. This shouldn't be. Yeah. This is like this like doesn't. All my instincts feel wrong here.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, live poetry reading. That's nice. That'd be funny to like surreptitiously record that and then just dox whoever poor person was trying to express themselves. All right. Well, Charles, thank you for coming.
Of course.
I think we got it.
I think so too. This is I appreciate you putting together this agenda.
Yeah. Anytime. Hello, dear.
Hello, dear.
Hello, dear. Kind thanks for listening to our splendid podcast and bequeathing your attention to our lucrative enterprise. If you enjoyed what you heard, please do the needful and transmit the relevant information to all of your personal and professional contacts as soon as possible, or I shall be forced to unfold your private banking details to all interested parties. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions or concerns. Wishing you many miracles and luxuries. Hello, dear.